Hello everybody, I'm Richard Gon of Work to Live podcast version. Was I pronouncing hello everybody well? So anyway, hello everybody, I'm Richard Gon of Work to Live podcast version. And this time I'm going to talk about EU or European Union. So the topic this time the topic is European Union. So to start with, I'm an Asian person or I'm an East Asian person. There are various kinds of Asian people in this world, but actually in the perspective of an East Asian person, and I'm an East Asian person, so Asian, for example, East Asian person, and for example, Indian people, for East Asian people, and for example, Middle Eastern people and Indian people are really different in the perspective in the perspective of East Asian person. Anyway, so this is just this is just an opinion. This is just my opinion, which is why. So please, if you have some East Asian acquaintances, please ask them. So maybe they have different answers, or they may have different opinions from mine. Anyway, so this time, yeah. EU. So the title is the end of EU or European Union is coming. The end of EU is coming is the title of this episode. So before, so not So I often not I often these days I always digress after telling you the conclusion. And anyway, so by the way, this is one of such digressions, but actually it's a rainy day, so please enjoy the sound or the noise of rain, accompany or simultaneously with my speaking or with my story. Anyway, so please enjoy this episode, including the sound or including the noise of this rainy weather. So the conclusion is, I'm going to tell you the conclusion this time at the beginning of this episode. So the conclusion is, the following group may work well, and there. So I wrote the conclusion in the description column of this episode. So I'm going to tell you again the conclusion. The conclusion is, the following group may work well. No, not the following group, but the following grouping may work well, which is the conclusion of this episode. And the groups are the present, not the present, but the present richer group, which are Germany, France, and the Netherlands and Nordic members. And the present poorer group is the rest of the member countries other than the richer group above. So I wrote two groups in the description column of this episode. So I wrote the richer group I wrote the richer group on the lower on the poorer group. So I'm going to tell you again the conclusion. So the following grouping may work well. The present richer group, which is which is Germany, France, and the Netherlands and Nordic members. And the present poorer group is the rest of the member countries other than the richer group above. So, and in this section in this poorer group, the richer group above is the richer group I have just told you, and the members of the richer group is Germany, France, and the Netherlands and Nordic members. And so if you live in, well, anyway, so I don't think you are governors, but if you live in advanced European countries, so it's up to your votes, or it depends on your voting whether you'd like to whether you'd like to include, or if you'd like, whether you'd like to comprise United Kingdom or Great Britain. So I intentionally missed United Kingdom or Great Britain from from this richer group. That is because I don't know, but I don't know British culture to the detail. So I don't know British culture to the extent of details. I'm sorry, I'm not so good at speaking English, which is why I can speak correctly. But actually, so I think this is a general I think this is a general characteristic of British British atmosphere. So what I have heard is that so British people find European countries in Eurasian continent different countries from Britain or Great Britain or United Kingdom. So that is natural. But actually, so maybe you can understand. You can understand with this explanation that so I'm an East Asian person as I have told you in the beginning of this podcast. But actually, so in my perspective, Brit- Great Britain is one of the European countries. But so I have read in your book or in your in your online source of information. But actually, British some people say that British people find themselves different from European countries. So I think Great Britain is one of the European countries, but actually some British people do not think Great Britain be one of the European countries. Anyway, so I don't know. Maybe I think there are various opinions in England and in Great Britain. And anyway, so there may be to start with that country has four. It is said that Great Britain, not Great Britain, or United Kingdom has four countries to start with. So England, Wales, and Scotland, and Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland. I can't pronounce well Northern Ireland. So I don't know, and there is a slight difference between United Kingdom and Great Britain, and which one of which comprises Northern Ireland, and the other doesn't comprise Northern Ireland, and which is the difference between Great Britain and United Kingdom, which is a difference of terms, between Great Britain and the United Kingdom, which is I think I have read some online source of information anyway. So this is not related to this episode anyway. So why I began to tell you this is because there is a decisive voting, or there is a decisive vote in France in France, or in the presidency election of France. And that those two candidates are, decisive voting or decisive election is stuff like that. And some people call that decisive vote runoff. And so thinking about the nature of runoffs or decisive votings, there are only two candidates, and one of who is the incumbent president. I forgot his name. I remembered. Mr. Emmanuel Macron. I'm sorry. I'm better. I have learned French language, but I can't pronounce French words or French language well. So the other candidate is Miss Marine Le Pen. So Miss Marine Le Pen is really famous even in this East Asian country. Anyway, so thinking about such a situation, thinking about the situation that there is a decisive vote, or there is a final vote taking place in France, and one of those two candidates is a extreme right person or extreme right politician. So and I have read an online source, anyway, I have read a web page which was saying that Miss Marine Le Pen said Miss Marine Le Pen said she does not, or she will not block, or she will not stop stop referendum or national voting to for deciding whether France should leave away, or France should get away from EU or European Union or not. I'm sorry. For my complicated explanation. So anyway, she doesn't say she agrees to Brexit or France, the situation where France leaving away living away, or France is going to live away from European Union. But she if so, which means if France if French people did, if French people decide to live away from European Union, Miss Marine Le Pen is not going to stop. Or she will not stop that situation, which is what she said, or at least according to the online source of information, she said so. Was such a thing was written in that online source of information. It's difficult because she doesn't agree. She doesn't agree to Brexit anyway. But thinking about the current situation of France, so the destruction or the secession of EU can be realistic, which is my perspective. So there are many opinions all over the world. But actually, so after France leaving away from EU, so maybe there is only country. I think there is only a country which can support the rest of the country, and the only country is Germany, and which means so which means German people can be overloaded for example, by paying taxations in favor of the rest of the poorer countries. Anyway, which means in the perspective, or putting yourselves in the shoes of German people. So, and after France leaving away from European Union, so German people have to pay a lot of tax without any hope of the bright futures of Germany. Which means German people may have to pay a lot of money for supporting the rest of the poorer countries, and moreover, so German society may have to accept a lot of immigrants into Germany, because only rich country can be Germany, and the rest of and the poor people living in the poorer European countries may rush into or come and immigrate into Germany. So, but actually you may say that there are more richer countries like Austria, and not some, and there are not Nordic countries, and I investigated this time, and according to that online source of information, maybe, so among five Nordic countries, three countries are the members of European Union, and they are Sweden, Finland, and Denmark. They are richer countries who are members of European Union. Anyway, but actually, so the structure of European Union, in which richer people in richer European countries have to support more poor people living in more poorer countries anyway. So what am I saying can be, such a structure doesn't change, is what I was trying to say. So what I saying, it can be your question, but actually, so telling you what I said, telling you what I have just said again. So I was saying that maybe I think there are and comparing the number of countries between richer countries and poorer countries in European Union, maybe the number of poorer countries exceeds the number of richer countries among European Union. So thinking about such a situation, so rich people in richer countries have to support poor people in poorer European countries. But actually, thinking about the number of the people between richer people in richer European countries and poorer people in poorer European countries, the number of poorer people exceeds that of richer people in European Union. So I haven't checked the details of I haven't checked the details, or I haven't calculated, but actually, so simply so and I think it's up to whether you include Spain, Italy, and Portugal into poorer group or not. So if those three countries are included into poorer groups, for example, maybe. So what I have told you can become a correct answer. Anyway, thinking about such a situation. So I have to tell you that the future of European Union can be dimming. So I can surely say that the future of European Union is really dark. But actually, there's a possibility that the future of European Union is dimming or really dark. So thinking about such a situation, which is why I posed this idea, and what is that idea is shown on the description column of this episode. So my idea is it's fine to divide European countries into two groups, and the richer one and poorer one. And the poorer one should be get united, not should be get united, but poorer countries should be united or should get united. And it's fine that poorer European countries use English language for communication, or it's fine to use Russian language for communication. And the gist of this idea is that poorer countries should create one huge country, and which is how I think things may go well, which is my idea. So of course, so I'm not a professional politician nor scientist nor researcher, but actually, and so I'm not a professional, for example, professional researcher of statistics, but actually, thinking about the situation of this present time. So in which Frexit is realistic. Frexit may happen in the future. So thinking about such a situation, so it's fine to divide European countries into poorer groups and richer groups, and it's fine that poorer groups create one country, and so that the richer groups can communicate well, because they have similar values and with similar thoughts, which is why richer people in richer countries, I think they can communicate smoothly, which is why I posed, or I came up this idea, and I came up with this idea, and I wrote my own idea in the description column of this episode. So anyway, so finally, I'm going to tell you the conclusion again and the title again. So the title is "The End of EU or European Union is Coming." The conclusion is the following grouping may work well. Those two groups are the present richer group, Germany, France, and Netherlands, Nordic members, and the present poorer group is the rest of the member countries other than the richer group above. Anyway, so I don't know which side you live in, but actually, so if you live in Europe, and good luck, and if you live in the United States of America, so this is not, maybe this can be related to your business, but actually, generally speaking, this episode is not related to your business, because what is it? So the country is influenced by the movement of Europe is not is the countries influenced by the movements of Europe are European countries, and maybe my country can be influenced by the movement of Europe, or I mean the political movement of Europe, or the social movement of Europe, which are the movements I'm talking about. And anyway, so I don't know what is going to happen in the future, but actually, there is such a movement as I have described minutes before. So Anyway, so thinking about such a huge movement or huge movements, so I'd like to tell you good luck if you live in European countries. So that's it. Thank you very much for your listening. See you.